What's going on, y'all? It's Sounds here with another beat making tip, actually tip slash discussion video. This video is basically going to be about two very popular forms of music within hip hop today that I'm seeing around. I want to talk about trap and I want to talk about dubstep. These two forms of music, very popular, probably the most popular out right now. I'm a big fan of both types of music. I think they're both hot. Trap, you know, very unique style of music. So is dubstep. They got really unique sounds to them. Very good sounding styles of music. But one thing that I'm seeing is that there's a lot of producers that are, new and upcoming or whatever, and they're developing their whole styles around one of these types of music. I'll go to somebody's page and start listening to their tracks, and I hear a nice trap style beat, and it'll be hot, and I'm like, damn, yo, that's hot. You know what I mean? And then I go to the next one, it's another trap beat, it's hot, it's fire. And then I keep going down the line, and they got 15, 20 trap beats on their page. To where now, by the time you've gotten to like the third or fourth beat, now it's like, okay, another trap beat is hot, but it's another trap beat. And it just trap all the way down to the point where now it's kind of, you expect that from them. Or it's kind of like, it kind of like you get tired of the same thing on that one page because it's all like, it starts to sound the same. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on nobody that makes trap music. I'm not hating on nobody that makes dubstep. None of that. Because I'm a big fan of both styles of music. I think both of them are very hot styles of music. It's just what I'm trying to say is, as a producer, you don't want to get stuck just making one type of music. Because what's going to happen is, especially in hip-hop's always changing. There'll be one style of music that'll be hot for a while, and then maybe a few years down the road, it'll just switch up all of a sudden. And then now that one style of music that you've developed your whole style around is now it's not relevant anymore. You know what I mean? And this has always happened throughout the years. I mean, if you think about it or look back how hip hop was, just think about the whole West Coast era, how it was back in the day, and how Snoop and Dre, they had it on lock for a long time. Even NWA, they everything was on lock for a while. And then as soon as like Biggie came out and Puffy and the whole bad boy movement came out, now the whole music genre in hip hop switched over to East Coast now. Now they're all listening to Puffy and everything. And don't get me wrong, West Coast was still hot, but now East Coast had the upper hand. And now that whole style of music was a whole different sound, whole different style. And it just was like, that's where everybody was listening to. And that's how fast things can change within hip hop. And as a producer, developing your style around just one style of music, you don't want 10 years down the road for things to just switch up. And now you're trying to push out these types of beats that you developed your whole style around. And now you can't even get it out to nobody because nobody wants to hear it because they've heard it already. And it's kind of played out to them. And that's pretty dangerous to any producer out there. And that's just a word of advice to any producer out there, is just kind of keep yourself well-rounded within whatever type of music you're going to make. Whether it's in the genre of hip-hop or R&B or whatever, you want to make sure that you can make all different types of hip-hop, because there's different types of music within hip-hop itself in that one genre. And that's what makes hip-hop so unique, is that there's so many different styles within it. As hip-hop is changing, as a producer within hip-hop, you want to make sure that when there are changes in hip-hop, your skill level will be up to a level where you can be able to make these new types of hip-hop, because there's always going to be a new style that emerges in hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? All the time. And when you're not well-rounded enough to be able to make any new style because you've developed your whole style around one type of music, then what's going to happen is you're going to be stuck there. And then when those new types of music come out and nobody wants to listen to that style that you've developed your whole skill around, what's going to happen is you're going to be stuck trying to learn a new type of music, and it's going to be very hard for you to do it. And what's going to happen is that you may end up just giving up altogether. because you're gonna be like, you know what, it's just not worth it no more. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be very hard, especially if you're trying to sell beats, if you're trying to get out there and make a career out of it. It's gonna be hard to make a career around a type of music that nobody's listening to anymore. And that's important to remember within hip hop as a producer, because producers are the backbone of not just hip hop but music in general. Because without producers, there's no music. You know what I'm saying? There'd just be a bunch of acapellas. You know what I mean? They need that music behind them. So you really want to develop your own style, is what I'm trying to say. You know, develop your own style regardless of what you do, whether you make original beats or if you sample, however, or if you want to do both. You know, try to just keep yourself well-rounded enough in the music game so that you won't get stuck trying to develop yourself later on, and it's going to make it a lot harder for you later on down the road. But I mean, that's all I had to say for this video, man. I just wanted to put that out in the air right now. If y'all have anything to add to this, you know, you can leave your comments below this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. You can check me out on SoundCloud. I'm also on Facebook. But yeah, that's all I got for today, man. And I'll check y'all in the next video.